Hello, Mrs. Mikey here. Today we are going to continue with our parts of an argument. Let's do a quick review. Remember that the claim is a statement of the author's opinion or position on the topic. Okay, so that is what the author believes. The reason are the statements that support the claim. They explain why something is or why it should be. The evidence is that proof, right? It supports the claim and reasons. Evidence can be facts, expert opinions, statistics, data, and other details. So that is what we have talked about already, the claim, reasons, and evidence. But there's something else we need to talk about. An author's argument and claim are considered credible, that means believable, and accurate when they are supported with evidence that is relevant and sufficient. So for your claim to be considered credible, you have to have true, factual, relevant evidence. You can't just make up anything, right? We are going to look at a few arguments to determine if they are credible. Let's read our first opinion. Text messages are running language, ruining. LOL, JK. In many casual chats about language and the internet, it's common to hear about how text speak is ruining language today. Some people would argue that technology has made people lazy with their speech and writing. Major media outlets such as LA Times and the BBC have all complained about the ways in which people communicate through technology. Of course, language does not change when it's used to text or write messages online. But contrary to the idea that these innovations are ruining language, I believe the new developments actually illustrate how existing symbols can creatively reimagined and reused in a new age of technology. The evolutions of language are swift and clever, prove how flexible language can be. All right, let's take a look at what the author's claim is. What is the author's claim? What is the author's claim? Yep, we're going to look for what the author believes. I believe the new developments actually illustrate how existing symbols can be creatively reimagined and reused in a new age of technology. How do we know the claim of the author is an opinion? Remember those signal words? How do we know that is an opinion? See any of those opinion words? How do we know it is an opinion? The word believe. The word believe. Yeah. So this is the author's opinion. This is the author's opinion. She does not provide any evidence, does she? She tells us what her opinion is, but she doesn't give us any evidence to support that opinion, does she? So, can this claim really be considered credible if she doesn't give us any evidence? What do you think? Is this claim credible? Yes or no? If you said no, this claim is very credible, you would be correct. Let's try another one. Change isn't always bad. People have been complaining about language being ruined for as long as they've been writing and speaking. John McWhorter is a linguist, a scientist who studies language. He gave a TED Talk in which he shared stories of people complaining about changes to language through the ages. For example, in the year AD 63, a Roman scholar complained that the students of Latin were writing in an artificial language, that language that would become French. And this 1871 quote from Charles Eliot, the president of Harvard University, might sound familiar. Bad spelling, incorrectness, as well as an elegance of expression in writing, ignorance of the simplest rules of punctuation, are far from rare among young men otherwise well prepared for college studies. Future President Theodore Roosevelt was a student at Harvard in the 1980s. He may have been among those students, those young men being described by Eliot. The historian Kathleen Dalton wrote a biography of Roosevelt. She observed that the future president would eventually support revisions of American English spelling rules, many of which we still use today. These rules revisions included changing RE endings to ER in words like center and changing our OUR to OR in words like color. What is one reason the author gives to support her claim? So, what is one reason that the author gives to support her claim? So, her claim is, people have been complaining about being ruined for as long as been writing and speaking. So that is her reason. What was her or what that was her claim? What is her reason? Does she give her evidence to support that claim? Yes, we do. We absolutely they give us the proof, right? They give us the reasons and the evidence here. Here is actual evidence. In AD 63, a Roman scholar complained the students of Latin were writing in an artificial language. So, as long as they've been writing and speaking, right? So, she's giving evidence of scholars or people complaining. In 1871, Charles Eliot quoted this bad spelling incorrectness. Okay. So, she is providing evidence that, in fact, people have been complaining about language being ruined, right? Yeah. So that was her claim. And yes, she did have evidence. Is that evidence credible and reliable evidence? Is it factual, truthful evidence? Yeah. So is this a good, legitimate, supported claim? Is this a good claim? Yes or no? If you said yes, then you would be correct. It is a well supported claim. Okay, let's try one more. A single symbol can say a lot. A single symbol can also be an entire language on its own. Susan Herring is a linguist. In her contribution to the book Discourse 2.0 Language and New Media, she describes how a single question mark can be an entire message that indicates that the user is confused or does not know what to say. Similarly, a single exclamation point as a message can show surprise and excitement. And you can repeat either of these symbols to show greater levels of confusion or surprise. Consider this exchange in which B uses only symbols to express his reactions to A's statements. So I have some good news. I got a raise today, and it came with a promotion. The use of symbols like this aren't destroying our language, quite the opposite. They are proof that people today can communicate complicated feelings in a simple, streamlined way, perfect for our modern, fast-paced world. Okay, all right. So what is more evidence? What is more evidence for her claim? What is more evidence for her claim? So the claim is the use of symbols aren't destroying language. They are proof that people can communicate feelings in a streamlined way. What was her proof? Yes, from her, yep, from the book. So this is the book where the information came from. She describes how a single question mark can be an entire message. She is saying that that is able to provide complicated meanings, complicated emotions and communication just through a simple question mark or exclamation point. Is that true? Is that factual? Is that evidence to support her claim? So, is this a reliable, reliable evidence? So, is this claim credible? If you said yes, it is credible, you would be accurate. Nice job, you guys. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think the author made a strong argument? Do you think that text messaging and social media is destroying our language? What do you think? Did she convince you that it is not destroying our language? Or do you think it is? Do you think the author made a strong argument? Nice job today, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back for one more class tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.